some pulp, no pulp, more pulp, less pulp. It's like going to buy orange juice. The same thing with a candidate. They don't know whether to have pulp, no pulp, some pulp, more pulp. Romney's being told appear as a pulpless candidate. And he says, well, people today are like a natural juice, so put some pulp in an occasional speech. Well, how about if we give them an entire orange? And no, because then it's too much pulp and they can't digest it. Then the next speech is no pulp. It's like I bought orange juice, Tropicana, so the container says some pulp. Then the other says no pulp. The other says lots of pulp. It's amazing to me how they did, the demographics now. I wonder if you broke it. I wonder if you broke it down by Democrat versus conservative versus liberal. Who wants more pulp in their orange juice? It's an interesting one. It's a hard one to call on that one, honestly. I think Democrats are health fanatics, and they want a lot. They want a lot of pulp. I'm not sure though, and conservatives are really. It's very hard to define that one. But I think it's the same thing as buying orange juice as buying a candidate. Some pulp, no pulp, lots of pulp. Like they were sold out of the lots of pulp in my local market, so I had to take a no pulp. And I felt like I was cheating myself every time I drank the orange juice because I know I was being denied the pulp, which contains most of the beneficial nutrients, aside from a little vitamin C in the sugar water there. Okay, I only buy sugar-free products. But if you're buying orange juice without pulp, what are you getting? It's like sugar water with a little vitamin C, fundamentally. So instead of being sucrose, so it's fruit sugar, it's fructose. So the pulp is the whole thing. That's the fiber. Everyone knows that. So that was sold out, and it's a very liberal area I live in. So that's my conclusion. Liberals buy more pulp. A pulp-full orange juice, the liberals buy it. Conservatives that were afraid of pulp, it somehow threatens their colon. It's it goes back to the sorry, I'm getting distracted here. No, I would think that a conservative, when you say conservative, like conservative, I think of a guy like in a Western hat with a string tie with cowboy boots from Arizona in the 60s. That's a conservative, like really rednecked and, tan. Like a Barry Goldwater is a conservative. You don't envision conservatives for what, I mean, they it's really stereotypical. But that kind of guy, that cowboy, if he even drinks orange juice, it's got to be no pulp, I would think. Because if he has like pulp would somehow threaten his colon health. Who's into colon cleaning? That's a liberal thing. As a conservative would never, ever go for the colon enema thing. That's a very liberal thing. That was very big in the 70s in the health food, in the health doctoring world. Coffee enemas. Remember that phase? Insane. Totally insane. Does anyone listening to the show, do you remember the 70s when quack doctors were administering coffee enemas? You remember that? Now, I was a new doctor of nutrition at the time with a PhD from Berkeley, so I was very rational in a field full of quacks, and I advised against coffee enemas. And people said why. I gave them reasons why, rational reasons why, which I can't repeat here I can, there's nothing off color about it. Forget about the mechanics of the coffee enema. Let's put that aside. That unto itself is one thing, but that's nothing new. I mean, the enema has been around a long time. That was once very big in the Victorian era. But the idea of injecting such a high dose of caffeine into your colon worried me, frankly. It's like I was totally, I'm going to show you something. Let's start with the rational, then we'll get into the comedic, and then the political. During the heyday of calcium as a supplement, I was opposed to it. Ask anybody. I was a leader in the field. And I was very cautious about telling people, I told people don't use calcium supplements. Don't use them at all. And they said, why, doctor, why? I said, because you're taking a form of calcium that may not wind up in your bones. It may wind up in your arteries. They looked at me like I was nuts. Now, remember what I'm talking about, the 70s, when I was writing books such as Nutrition Against Aging, Maximum Immunity in 82, 83. So even common sense was not present in the health food movement or the nutrition movement at that time. It was filled with extremists. And most of them, I was thinking about them today, they're all fanatic. 99% of them are fanatic liberals. Even though they don't understand, it's the liberals in Congress who want to destroy the health food industry. Here's another example. The people who live on the vitamin industry are phenomenally left-wing, even though they don't realize that it's the left-wing that wants to regulate them out of business. Now go figure that one out. Because I remember them. I was thinking about them today. People I knew in the 70s in this field, All phenomenal left-wing Colorado Democrats, California Democrats. They don't even realize that their best allies are the conservatives and the libertarians who want to leave them alone because, give people some freedom of choice in medicine. They have no idea what they're doing. They're stuffed with vitamins and marijuana. They haven't any idea what's going on around them. It's the marijuana destroyed the whole society. And now we're finished altogether. With the legalization under the guise of medical marijuana, the country's finished. It's over. And who pushed it? You see, I know this. I know who pushed medical marijuana as a concept in 2 states. That's right, the most evil man in the history of the world. In the most evil man in the history of American politics, in my opinion, is George Soros. That's a political opinion. And I argued with one of his spokesmouths about 10 years ago when they were trying to push a ballot initiative in California and in Arizona to legalize marijuana under the guise of medical marijuana. I said, all you're trying to do is dope up the population so you can manipulate them. You know I'm right. Intuitively, the minute I said it, you knew I was right. Now I'll get the callers, it's good, I have cancer and I'm doing better. I heard all of that. Then take Marinol. Take the active principle. You're doing it because you get to smoke dope in public and insult people. Mainly, the 99% of the people who are using medical marijuana that I know in San Francisco that I see, let me qualify it. A large majority of those using medical marijuana in San Francisco, amongst the people I have noticed, do it to offend people and to get high in public. That's my statement on the issue. Okay, write that one down. See if you can sue me for saying it, for giving you my opinion on the issue. I mean, what is talk radio about? Is it not? This is what I don't understand. I am in talk radio. I'm not on NPR. NPR is like, now let's go. Okay, everything is quiet and everything is like undercurrents. Talk radio is brazen. It's out there. It's overt. It's opinionated. It's meant to shock you. Not solely shock you, but I have to make statements that shock you. Isn't that correct? So how can you crucify me for shocking you with a statement like that I just made? Huh? How can you do that? And yet every day of the week, people try to crucify Michael Savage for saying things in a medium in which he's supposed to say things he believes to be true. Okay? After all, I'm not a philosopher. If you read the periodicals who write about me, I am what they say I am. I'm a shock jock. You can't take me seriously. The real serious journalists are people like John King on CNN or Dan Rather. He was a great serious journalist. Or Tom Brokaw. I mean, he was a serious journalist, wasn't he? Or Friedman from the New York Times. Now, there's a serious journalist, isn't he? No, I'm just a shock jock. So why are you shocked by the statements I make? I'll be right back. Savage.